And we are back in Santa Barbara, California for the last broadcast match of the afternoon as we have the 13 doubles semifinals here with Jesus Avila and Ellen Cheng from Tucson, Arizona up against Luis Mendez and German Botello from Santa Barbara, California. German is wearing the green shirt, Tucson, with Cheng wearing the either the red or the orange. So when you see those two colors, you'll know it's coming from Tucson. Team green is Santa Barbara.
Right out.
I think German looks a lot like Rodrigo Uribe that just came off the court. I looked up and I thought, wait, I thought he was on the other game.
Zero, one.
It's a funny matchup for the Santa Barbara duo. One's about a fourth of the size as his partner.
Right out.
Luis Mendez is the smaller player wearing the green shirt, and he's one heck of a nice kid. He's a part of that Santa Barbara handball experience.
Cool.
And he's been projected to be one of the top pro players to come out of that junior organization if he stays focused. Kind of a young Luis Moreno type.
As you said, he's a very nice kid. I know whenever Fred Lewis needs a ref, Luis has been going up to the desk and offering. He says, do you need a ref? I want a ref. Like, this kid just wants to help out any way he can.
Cheng Avila serving here. Alan Cheng. He's very smooth on the court. We see him down in Tucson, Arizona all the time on these courts. I remember the day that he came down to start playing handball just a couple years back when his father brought him down to the courts, a little weary about dropping his son off, and hung out and watched. And ever since, he's been part of that Yes to Kids handball organization, and he's a staple down there.
And he's about 2 feet taller than 2 years ago.
He was a small kid back then, and now he's just really starting to grow. He loves the game of handball. Those that were interested in the action from the New York Athletic Club, as that pro event's going on the same exact weekend, it was Alan Garner taking down John Iglesias in the semifinals. Iglesias got over Emmett Peixote in the quarters. Allen will be in the finals, and now going on right now, and if not getting close to being wrapped up, is Dave Fink versus Charlie Shanks for the other semifinal for a chance to face Garner tomorrow. And in the women's, it was Jennifer Hinman taking down Samantha England, which is a huge win for her, possibly her best win of all time, I would say. And she's going to face Tracy Davis in the finals after Tracy defeated Lavonna Havern in that semifinal.
I'm very anxious to hear the results of the Shanks-Fink matchup. I know that Shanks plays at the NYC weekly because he's living in New Jersey, so that's his home court at the moment. But Fink also has a very good record at the NYC.
That was a swing and miss right there from Botello. And it's half out. This is the 13 and under semifinals of the lower bracket. Of the 13 and under division. You're talking about how tall Alan Cheng is. You know, it seems like just a few months ago he was still playing double bounce. I know that's an exaggeration, but
it's amazing how fast these kids grow up.
I'm getting old and they still look young.
I think there's a quote from Varsity Blues about, I won't go there, but the girls staying the same age and the guys getting older. When you go to high school parties, you know.
Sure, okay.
girls are all the same age.
Oh, it's appropriate
But
on a 13 and
I didn't want to
under
go there,
match.
and then I couldn't help myself.
It's appropriate on a 13 and under.
Well, I
live
didn't say
broadcast.
what the, yeah. Well, since I'm getting my pink slip tonight, wasn't it supposed to be Ashley Unfiltered today?
This is 2 games to 21, traditional scoring, tiebreaker to 11. Right now, Team Tucson is up 7-4 against Team Santa Barbara here in this match. I'd like to get the team standings from our bracketologist, John Bike, but
Well, he was in the hallway calculating points as I was walking through between games.
hopefully we'll see him before this one ends so we can get kind of a understanding of how the team's points fare out. I think he'll even break it down to tell you what Santa Barbara will have to do in order to win this team trophy. Right now they are in the lead as of the last calculation. But John could say if they lose the finals of this, this, and this, they have a chance of losing to, let's say, Tucson or San Jose.
So this is a very big matchup here because these are the first and second place teams as of our last standings.
Correct. Score is 5-7 here with Santa Barbara serving to Tucson. This is the Junior Cup of Handball. The crowning event for the Junior Handball Alliance, essentially the national tournament for the Junior Handball Alliance. This is the first annual event held here in Santa Barbara, California at the YMCA. Earlier today in the 19 and unders, it was Juan Avila taking down Isaac Garcia in the semifinals. Juan Avila from Tucson will be in the finals. And now we're seeing Juan's younger brother. I'm assuming that's his younger brother in the court here. I see that name Avila, and I think automatically that
Juan Avila's
Jesus
yep.
is related by being a younger brother, but he could be a cousin.
Oh, they're all brothers. Avilas and Pimentals, they're all related brothers.
They are?
Hmm.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, there's 5 of them that are playing in the tournament here.
Well, I was really confused because I saw Jesus and I thought, man, he really looks like Cesar Pimentel. Now I know why. They're brothers. Now look at the score here. Botello Mendez up 11-9 after seeing themselves down pretty big here to start the first game.
Sometimes in doubles it just takes a little bit to figure out your partner and get into a groove with each other.
Botello Mendez 12-9 is the score. First game. Wearing the green is Team Santa Barbara. and the orange and red,
That's the new style. You
Team
got the new-
Tucson, Arizona.
That was a nice slider hit down the wall.
Next week, everybody in Boyle will have to do
German couldn't get his hand on it.
That's a good serve back there. Dug out from Alan Cheng, who dives to get that ball back. German's going to go down that right wall, and the right side player just standing back watching. Kind of reminds me of my handball play just a bit. That was one of those that I would have turned to you and said, I'm taking a timeout.
Well, I think you were standing against the sidewall when you told me you were taking the timeout.
That was me leaning against the sidewall. I promise to you I will never do that again when we play doubles. I know that we'll never play doubles again, but I'm promising to you that it will never happen.
Well, I will never forget you said that, so.
Now you see Botello and Mendez with that score of 14 here. This is a very big game for Team Tucson. I know our bracketologist John Bike is crunching numbers right now. He's sitting courtside waiting to see what the result of this one, because he has the team points in his hand, and he's not letting anybody see him either. He doesn't want any misinformation to get out.
There's tons of kids clawing at him because they're dying to know which team is in the lead for the Junior Gold Cup.
John says, no premature points coming from me. I wait till all of the rounds are done to make it fair. I believe the referee said 12-14. Make that 13-14. Oh, nice inside out paddle from Alan Cheng. Now tied at 14. I think his serve's a little too far to the right here. That's better.
It's like he heard you telepathically.
Oh, he got lucky on that last one. This is not going to be a lucky. You see how Avila stays back on the back wall?
Oh, nice diving get. Oh, that was amazing.
Not understanding how Jesus is playing so far back as the right side player. He was standing on the back wall there. That's why they hit the ball in front of him.
Well, even during his singles game earlier, you're commenting on his court position. So as a coach, they should definitely work on his court position and getting into position for the next shot.
That was a terrible decision from Cheng right there. He decided to stick his left hand out. Score now 14-15. With Luis Mendez serving for Team Santa Barbara here, and there's a half out. German Botello now in the box.
Although Luis is the smallest kid on the court, he hits the ball just as hard as any of them. Just like dynamite in small packages.
Now we're all together at 15. Well, good things come to those who wait. I just figured since we're using euphemisms
that has
now.
nothing to do with anything.
No, since we're using euphemisms, I thought I'd throw one out myself.
Okay, so we're just going to say random phrases.
Oh, that's what I thought you were doing.
Well, mine actually pertain to the game.
Okay. Touche.
Oh, nice diving effort by Allen.
I like that little natural hook there from Cheng. Unable to get it over the line, though. This one will be very hard to dig out, and it is. Interesting doubles technique from Jesus Avila, who drifts back as the right side player to play in an I formation, standing behind Alan Cheng, who's just roaming up front. Now Alan's back and Avila's up front. And there's a point for Team Tucson. Now it's 17-15. And this might get a little loud here in just a few minutes. As the players are starting to come and group around this, they know that team points are on the line. Those closely guarded team points that John Bike is hiding from everybody are on the line.
Luckily, he's a big enough guy that 10 kids can't even take him down.
There's another point for Tucson. We say the motto of the Race for 8, Ashley, is every point counts, but here in the Junior Gold Cup, every point does count toward that traveling team trophy that these players could win for their handball squad. And as soon as Tucson gets up to 19 here, timeout being called by the Santa Barbara crew as we look down the hallway here toward the players coming in and out of the court and those watching this live broadcast in Santa Barbara at the YMCA, where it's raining now here on the coast.
See James coaching his kids right there. He is indeed the referee also.
That's not a conflict of interest. This is the Junior Handball Alliance Gold Cup, brought to you by the World Players of Handball as we prepare for the big banquet presentation tonight Fred Lewis will be putting on. I want to thank those that have helped with this tournament, the organizers here at the Santa Barbara YMCA, as well as James Coronado and his family, Fred Lewis, sponsors and donors to make this event go along smoothly. John Bike for his bracketology and scorekeeping, even though he's being stingy about the numbers right now. Safeguarding. John's actually standing in the panic room right now with big screen TVs.
With his bodyguard, Gabriella Bike.
John Bike will be a guest speaker tonight at the banquet. I just made that up, but.
Okay, you guys are coming in, first man, 15-19.
And there's a point for Santa Barbara. Good timeout.
16-19.
I'd be curious to know what James told them between the timeout.
I think Santa Barbara's in a good position here. Tucson's going to have to get 2 side outs.
Well, when you have the serve, you're always in a good position, better than the other team.
16-19.
Now Santa Barbara's in sort of good position. They've got 1 serve. Oh, and Santa Barbara hits the ball on the ground as Botello is unable to convert that up front setup. Now at 19-16, and Santa Barbara not in a good position right now. Let's remember, this is just game 1. We have game number 2 coming up immediately afterwards. And one of the great things we like about these young kids, unlike the pros that we've been filming the whole year, they don't seem to take the full 5-minute break between games. And there it is. Let's time it out. It's 5:36, just flipped over. We'll have game number 2 in about 5 minutes. Stick around here at race48.com. And we are back for game number 2 here. Santa Barbara, California, 2 minutes and 12 seconds off the stopwatch between games. That's what I like about these kids, Ashley. They'll jump right back into the court. They're not waiting 5 minutes. They want to get it going on here.
I'd like our pros to take a note of that.
These are pros.
They like to keep things on schedule here. They're ready for dinner.
We're waiting for the referee to put his mic on and get this thing going. We are here live in Santa Barbara for game number 2. It was Team Tucson taking down Santa Barbara in game number 1.
I'm anticipating a really close game here. The first game was a little lopsided at the beginning, and then it really got close and exciting.
Waiting for the referee to start the game. All the players are ready.
30 seconds. Good. Okay, here we go, guys. Second game. Mendez and Botello serving.
The referee was actually holding on to the stopwatch, and he was going to give them 5 minutes because he knew this was being broadcast. And I just stuck out my thumb and said, let's get it going.
That's a nice change also, that the referee is actually considering the webcast.
We have a lot of things we could learn from this junior event.
See, you learn something from everything.
Paul Brady once told me that he would travel to parks in Ireland and see young kids playing and pull his car over and sit on the side and watch them play, trying to see if he can steal something.
That's kind of a strange thing to say. Pull up to a park, looking at kids, thinking about stealing something.
He said that he has learned that some of these kids have certain emotions that he wants to tap into and try to figure out how that he can emulate what they do on the court to become a better player. And I said, you know, you're the #1 player in the world, and yet you're traveling around and you can learn something from a 12-year-old and what they do on a handball court. And he said, yeah, you know, everybody has a different thing motivating them. What motivates you to play? And he's asking these kind of spiritual questions, and I thought, wow, that's pretty intense that the guy says he can learn something. Really the greatest handball player I've ever seen in my life. And for us, we learned that referees can be considerate of our live broadcast. That the young players don't need 5 minutes between games.
Not as spiritual and deep as the Paul Brady aspect.
But
it's something.
You can learn in this world.
I think one main thing that I learned from watching kids is sometimes when I get in important matches, I forget that the game is fun, and then you watch these kids and they're playing for fun. I mean, they don't have thousands of dollars they're winning. It's just playing for pride, which is something that can get lost when you get to the pro level.
Oh, there's a nice kill shot right there, a fadeaway from Team Tucson. Alan Cheng serving here.
1-2.
And 1 serves 2. Alan Cheng's going to have to get that ball a little bit more to the left and higher, like that. And that's a miss hit and a side out. Botello and Mendez now serving, with Mendez getting the first serve here for Team Santa Barbara. I think at this level, Ashley, a perfect serve would be that Dave Chapman double serve that goes down the middle. That 2-wall serve that hits the back door. That would force the player on the left to have to use his left. And you're not seeing that from any of these players. I believe you could rattle off 10 straight points if you did it right. And it's not too hard to teach. Just one timeout away. Just, coach, give me the chance. What we saw in that previous match, the 17 and unders, that Tyler Martin was having a tough time with that serve. If Efron Sanchez was able to actually get it over the line, and they're in the 19 and under or 17 and under division. I believe that 13 and unders could do it as well. And that's getting closer. That's more of the serve that I'm talking about. That would force German Botello to have to use his left with the ball coming around. These straight forward and back type serves I don't think are effective on getting free points. Let's see if Avila can do it here. He tried it the first time. And that's it right there. That ball, you see how hard that is for a player to have to try to hit that ball?
Oh,
Let's see what happens here. It was just a good serve. It should be a point. It's not a broken ball. Let's watch what this ball does. Nothing. See how Avila goes to the serve that I told you about and then leaves that serve and goes back to the left and engages in a rally. I think if he just stuck there, he got a free point by hitting it to the right. And that should also be a screen ball and played over. I'm not sure the ref is going to do that, though. 4-3 is the score here. Make that 5-3. I'd like to see Avila go back to that. There it is. This is the ball that is a very difficult serve to give back if you hit it on the dead center of the back wall. If you go a little too far out, it's dangerous. And that was a little roaming block from Avila. I agree with the play over. Avila just like stepped in front of him on the shot. You see that Avila serves and then turns his back. He needs to watch the play develop in the back court here. Jesus Avila from Tucson, Arizona. Alan Cheng also sparring partners. Now they're doubles partners here.
6-3.
Up against Luis Mendez and German Botello from Santa Barbara, California. And now they're switching sides.
7-3.
we just got news that Santa Barbara has widened the lead over Tucson.
And if they win this match, they could secure a win on the team trophy. But right now they're down 7-3.
She went to go set up.
7-3.
Santa Barbara's got a huge lead right now in the team cup, as they did earlier when they were leading 66-45, and I think that's increased closer to probably at least 80.
If you want to, if you need maybe, Daniel, you know how to get back to school, right? Yeah. If you need to, do you need to take this stuff over there?
3-7.
I'm sure seeing the trophy sitting in the case here at the Santa Barbara YMCA will really make it worth the host for having the event here and make them very proud of these young athletes.
That's true, Ashley, but that trophy doesn't pay the bills. I don't know what that means, but
Well,
I thought I'd throw that out
it is
there.
a gold cup. Maybe they could pawn it.
That's true.
Not that I would hope they would do that, but I've been watching a lot of pawn shows lately.
Pawn Stars or Hardcore Pawn?
Pawn Stars.
Okay.
Not into the hardcore pawn so much.
I am. I actually like it. It's one out of Detroit. I think it's on A&E. What channel is that? Discovery?
History Channel usually.
History.
Storage Wars is a good one also.
6-7.
6-7 now score. We're all together at 7 with young Mendez serving here. That ball does not make the front walls. Half out. German Botello now in the box. We're all together at 7. Even though the scoreboard's, well, it just evaporated. Someone stuck a needle in the scoreboard. It just blew up. 8-7, Team Santa Barbara here in the lead. Maybe they got that news, what John Bike said earlier. See how great that serve is right there? Unbelievable. If you can do that, you would literally roll off 10 straight points, I believe. Let's see if German goes back to it again here. Jesus Avila actually had a great serve. He had an ace. He hit German Botello right in the stomach with that perfect double serve and then decided never to go back to it again.
It was such a good serve that they thought the ball broke because they couldn't believe it just bounced right into his stomach.
And so they decided never to do it again. Hey, they don't want to break the ball. That was confusing. There it is. That one that hits right there is so difficult. Dug out by Luis Mendez over there off that side wall. If that ball is a couple feet to the left, would have been perfect.
Oh.
He did.
I think the switching from left to right confused Luis a little bit. That should have been the left player's ball since it was back well set up to his right hand, but Luis slid over to try to take it.
And now that's 11-9, and I thought a timeout was going to be called by Team Santa Barbara, but they didn't call it. Alan Cheng serves that ball and then looks back to see if his right side player was going to get it.
9-11.
It's a half out, I thought. No, I guess
No, I
it
think
did
he
make
made it.
10-11. Hold it.
That was kind of like a block out as you see in basketball. He pinned him on that wall and didn't want him to go.
Short. Second serve.
There it is, side out. Half out, actually. It's very interesting with these kids. You see a lot of them during this live broadcast look back at the referee. And I know you've seen it too, Ashley. They play a faster pace of game than the players that play in practice that you and I spar with, and the pros, for example. Pros very rarely look back at the referee. But you see the kids, they want to get this play into action. They want to get this rally going, and they don't want to spend time playing around. These 5-minute breaks between games, they don't even honor that. They're back on within 90 seconds.
Well, and when you watch big ball games, the players are jumping in that box ready to go. They're not taking their time and dawdling around. Like, they're there to play, and the referee, they don't want them as any part of the game. They just...
But if you see the referee's a little late calling the score, they all look at the ref saying, when are you going to call this? But yet the ref has a good cadence, but watch this. 10-11, good cadence. If he doesn't follow that cadence on the next call, everyone will look back and ask, and kind of look to see why he's not calling the score. Is he being distracted or disrupted? Or it's very interesting.
11-11.
See that? Come on, why aren't you calling the score? I want to get this ball into play.
Well,
And
and also, sometimes when you start playing, you think that you have to be ready, and when the ref calls it, you have to serve right away.
See, there's a look back.
12-11.
And it's not just this match. It's every single match that we've had on. The players look back at the referee. I think that's either a very respectable thing or deep down it might be disrespectful. I'm not sure. But I think they're actually respecting the referee's authority.
Well, it's his coach, so I'm sure it's not disrespectful.
Well, watch Team Tucson. They do it too, and he's not their coach. I don't know if Team Tucson will ever serve again. Right now, Santa Barbara's on a roll. Now at 14-11. Botello Mendez trying to force a tiebreaker. 15-11, the referee says. There's a half out. German Botello now in the box at 15-11. John Bike says if Santa Barbara wins this match, they've secured the team trophy. And that means that we could even award Santa Barbara the trophy tonight at the banquet if they were to come back. That's going to be a tough ball to get back. Cheng does. And Avila unable to execute that shot. Now it's 16-11 is Team Santa Barbara. This one might go overtime.
Well, and you can see the frustration between Cheng and Avila because they can see the game slipping out of their hands and they don't want a tiebreaker. They'd like to secure this in 2.
That's why you call a timeout, young Ashley Moeller.
I thought you were going to call me a young grasshopper.
There's the timeout called from Team Tucson, and that might have been about 6 points too long, to be honest with you. This is the WPH Junior Handball Alliance Gold Cup in Santa Barbara, California. Team Tucson here trying to ward off Santa Barbara, who's on a nice little run. I believe the score was 11-9, and it's been 9 unanswered points for Team Santa Barbara here.
Well, we don't see Team Tucson's coaches anywhere trying to give them advice on how to get back into this second game here.
Not in this camera angle.
Well, we just saw them sit down, and generally their coaches are front and center.
Now they're playing side to side because it's easier.
You're right, no Tucson coaches here.
30 seconds.
They might not know the significance of this match.
Maybe they're getting dolled up for the big banquet tonight. I don't know if boys doll themselves up or not.
Some do. Score now 19-11, and Santa Barbara's just running away now.
Tucson back into the server's box. They have a long way to go from 11 to 21. They don't want Team Santa Barbara to get back into the service box with only 2 points to go to secure the tiebreaker.
It's going to be very difficult to do with the same type of serves that you've been seeing from Tucson. This is a good serve right here, by the way. And it's one that you could continually score points on if you stay there. And it seems to me that Avila is going to stick with this serve. That's okay. It creates a setup off the back wall. Both players go to that. I don't know why Alan Cheng decided to come over and try to use his left there, because that was Avila's ball all the way. 13-19. Somehow that ball made the front wall, bringing it to 14-19.
You could hear Alan excited about that ball, making it hurt him, give him a little yeah.
Another good serve from Tucson.
Side out.
Now a game point to force the tiebreaker.
Game point 20 serve 14. Hello. Who's in the score? Game point 20 serve 14.
There it is. Santa Barbara is going to force 11-point tiebreaker here, and you can see the frustration on the faces of the Tucson team. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay right here at racefor8.com.
16.
You heard the announcement from the coach there that told the players to shake hands before this tiebreaker played to 11. This is game number 3 in Santa Barbara, and now you don't want to leave Alan Cheng hanging. He reaches out and gets that 5 from Jose Avila, and there is the first point of this tiebreaker from German Botello, who roundhouses that ball up front. Avila, who likes to hang back, was caught sleeping here. Nice shot right there from Avila, who uses a fist punch. And that's exactly where he's going to probably put this serve. So get ready to see that exact same thing happen here. Ooh, and a miss hit almost did not make that ball come over the short line. Now Avila gets to go to that high serve that seemed to work in the last part of that second game. Dug out by German Botello, and then Alan Cheng was able to get it, but after 2 bounces. Now Cheng's going to go to his version of that serve right here. And there's a point for Team Tucson. That's the serve, Ashley, right there, that Alan Cheng needs to do in order to get some free points here.
Well, luckily between games, the Tucson coach came from one of the other courts, Abraham Montijo, and was asking his kids what was working for them, and they actually said the serve that you were telling him to do. And he said, well, do it.
Alan Cheng just went away from that serve, and now they're engaged in a longer rally here. Score here is 3-1. We're going to 11. I like it. These guys take good advice from their coach. It just sets up for more action to take place because your opponents are using defensive shots. And when you have a defensive shot coming from these players and you're an offensive player.
Well, and you can see more spark in these kids ever since seeing their coach come over. They're hustling more, they're more animated.
It's going to be tough, Ashley. And it proves to be, and there is a side out after Tucson gets 4 points there after following their coach's advice. Now, Luis Mendez is going to serve here, and I think he's going to try to do the same thing that he just saw from Tucson. He's going up top. See how Alan Cheng handles it. And there's a half out. That's interesting that Luis Mendez said, hey, that was a good serve. I'm going to do it against you.
Well, I know I do that sometimes. If somebody's giving me a difficult serve, I say, well, I'm going to pay you back with this.
I agree with you.
Nice fadeaway shot there from Mendez.
But that's really to the fault of Jesus, because he does not turn around and look to see what his opponent's going to do. He should have stayed up. And Tucson had a chance to score points, didn't do it. They got away from that serve that the coach, Abraham Montijo, told them to do. They decided not to do it in both shifts. 1 serves 4.
Partner Botello stuck in the timeout box when the ball was killed right in front of him.
Oh,
nice corner kill.
Inside out corner kill from Luis Mendez. German Botello serving here. Score is 2-4. Santa Barbara has to win this match to win the team trophy.
I think we could very well be looking at an 11-10 tiebreaker here. I know for all our fans viewing, that's what they would like to see.
We have thousands of viewers right now, and I know they want to see it. And Botello's unable to get that ball to the front wall, and now there's a side out, and the crowd's starting to get involved. And now we watch Jesus Avila serve that ball. Got a weak return, and then he gave a weak reply to that return from Botello. Now watch what Cheng does here. He goes up. Nope, he's switching to serve. Doesn't feel comfortable with that one.
Oh.
Push. Don't let up. 5-2.
You see how Avila's out of position, playing the left deep as the right side player. And German Botello is going for that kill shot down the right, but he hit it in the ground. Should have been a side out.
Although he was out of position, he was communicating with his partner, so he knew where he was. Although, even if you tell your partner where you are, it doesn't make it easier if you're in the wrong position on the court.
German could just flip that ball up there and probably got a point. 6-2 score here, going to 11. Team Tucson will probably not win this perpetual trophy, but they could at least hold Santa Barbara off from winning it tonight. Santa Barbara just needs to win one more match, and they've pretty much done it. 7-2 is the score here, going to 11. And it looks like that trophy will be presented at the YMCA more than likely, unless Santa Barbara loses every single match from this point forward. Well, that ball almost made it to the front wall from Luis Mendez.
Well, it was good for Cheng. He anticipated and saw that Botello was going for that kill, and he was up there, right there, and got his hands on it. Was able to get a man out.
And the timeout's being called by Team Tucson as Coach Abraham Montijo called that timeout from the stands. Now it's a chess match between Abraham Montijo and our referee James Coronado, who is now going to talk to his kids. And though you might think it's not fair that the referee is also the coach of the kids, it actually is fair, because James Coronado is a very fair guy, and he's also running the tournament. And when you run the tournament and you put in your time, you get a ref and be a coach at the same time.
Well, and I would never expect any of the coaches to do any dirty gambling or anything on junior kids, or in general.
Look at Fred Lewis, for example. He's from New York, and when Sandy Ing was playing you in a match in Vegas, he gave her advice on how to beat you.
Yeah, well.
So, I mean, anything can happen. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. But
you bring it up every tournament, every single one.
Sorry that I remember.
Well, don't be sorry to me. I didn't do anything about it. It happened, and that's that.
Not for me. I just keep bringing it up. Jesus Avila serving that tall serve that hits the ceiling and a side out. That was a smart timeout call from Abraham Montijo.
Well, I don't think he anticipated a ceiling half out.
That's a cracked serve that's deep there for Cheng, who gets the 8th point. Team Tucson trying to win this 13 and under doubles division. This is the semifinals. Tomorrow will be final Sunday here at the courts, and there is the 9th point, and now you see Luis Mendez switching sides with Botello. Smart timeout from Tucson. Score here is 10-2.
Should have been a back wall setup, but Avila decided to take the ball out of the air. Now, if his serve gets hot, it's very possible for them to come back and make this a close game.
Well, we saw it in that second game. They scored at least 12 straight points.
And they scored that after Luis switched over to the right side, and now he switched back to the left, so we'll see what happens here.
And there's another point for Santa Barbara. They're only 7 away. Make that 6 away.
This would be a good time for Team Tucson to call another timeout.
I'd call one right now. Now they're 5 away. Almost a good get. Unable to get it to the front wall. That's just a half out. See if German Botello goes to that 2-wall serve that he saw Luis Mendez do. Now Tucson just 1 point away from taking this tiebreaker.
10-6.
There's contact there. See Luis Mendez a little upset that he made contact with the Tucson player. I think he's frustrated that they're losing here. And there it is. Team Tucson takes down Santa Barbara here on the show court in Santa Barbara, California, where we are in the midst of this great Junior Handball Alliance Gold Cup brought to you by the World Players of Handball. This will wrap up the broadcast day. We'll have another one starting tomorrow morning early as we take a look at that broadcast schedule. At 8 a.m. it'll be the finals with the 19 and under singles, followed by the 21 and under singles, 13 and under singles final at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the girls singles at 11 o'clock, and then at 12 o'clock it'll be the 17 and under double championship right here on the show court. Tonight at the banquet we'll find out if Santa Barbara actually won that team trophy or how close they are. We'll also have that results from that banquet and a recap later tonight on the website. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Linda Manning, Ben Garad, and Ashley Moeller. My name is Dave Vincent. Thank you for tuning in here at racefor8.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
It's time to join forces. Get energized and fuel up right. Because starting today, every kid in America has a mission. Bring out the action hero in you. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.